Good morning. Actually, almost afternoon. It's almost noon here. I went to the gym, I got home, and I was like, you know what? I still have a little extra energy to spare. I'm gonna go for a walk, except I went for a walk without my headphones so that I could just be with nature. There's just something about going for a walk without headphones, without distractions, and just tuning in, right? And so as I was walking, I wrote down in my notes some thoughts that I was having, and I really wanted to share this with you guys because I don't know, I just think it's important to hear the message, especially from someone who has a platform, who has used my platform actively for years to inspire, encourage, to motivate, and empower. I think it's really important to also continue to share this piece of my journey where I am and the authenticity behind it. And so what you may not know about me, if you're new here, I've shared this kind of a little bit, maybe not in depth, but I tend to joke that I'm an alpha, I'm a Scorpio, I control of situations, I'm a leader, and that's all good and well, except for when the control starts to control you. And what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, if you are constantly consumed by controlling your life, controlling the people in your life, the outcomes, everything, you miss life. You start to miss out on what's right in front of you because you're so you start to miss out on what's in front of you because you're in this constant state of worry instead of contentment. And so what I mean by that is it's cool to be proactive, absolutely. At the end of the day, you are in control of how you show up, how you carry yourself, what you choose to do in each moment, whether you're proactive, reactive, if you're healing and growing, you can control those variables. But what you can't do is set up people, scenarios, outcomes in your life like little puppets, like little marionettes, and think that you can control how the show goes, control the story and the outcome. You can't. And the greatest thing I'm learning, and especially in these last couple weeks, is that need for control has come from a lack of validation in my life. As a child, it affected me in my teens and my early 20s, where I was constantly seeking validation in relationships, right? So love relationships, constantly seeking validation. And then as I got older, it became the validation from friendships. Am I good enough? Do they love me enough? Am I showing up enough? Am I worthy enough? As a mom, right? Now I need the validation from my daughter. Am I good enough mom? Am I doing the best that I can? And so a lot of times when you try to control it and you're constantly seeking validation in those situations, it actually causes you more distress. And so that is where I've been at, is that I preached to you guys, fill your cup. And I was filling my cup, but it had cracks. Had some holes, and I wasn't realizing it. And what I love to do and what I'll always want to do and what I'll continue to do is to pour into others and lift them up. And in order to do that, I have to really truly be full and overflowing. And I was in a state of just dry. I didn't realize I was dry. But I also didn't realize that as much healing and growth I had done throughout the years, I still had a big chunk more to go. We always do. It never ends. And so where I'm at now is that I know I'm not in the driver's seat, technically. God is. And he's controlling my life, and he knows the outcomes, and he knows the plans before me. And what I can do is trust in that. And that's faith. It's that trust in faith. You can't see it, you feel it. So that's where I'm at, is I'm really working hard to be okay with not trying to be in control of the uncontrollable. I don't want to live in a constant state of anxiety and worry. I want to be content with where I'm at, trusting and knowing that there's so much more to come. And whatever it's going to look like, it's going to be my journey, and it's going to be what God has for me. And I do believe that, as I've always said to you, that I love motivational speaking. I love pouring into others, and I think there's a new stage for me. I think there's a new stage in life. I think there's a new light that I am meant to shine, and I think in order to do so, I've got to dig deep right now and do this work that God's calling me to do. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm doing this, and I'm overcoming now, so that on the other side of this, I can take that experience and help lead others. And not from a place of I'm better than, not from a place of I know more than you, not from a place of I'm worthier, because none of that is true. I'm just like you. We're all on the same page. We're all humans here, and we're bound to make mistakes. Something else I'm learning in life is it's okay to make mistakes, because we're going to. And in that you'll find growth, and you find power in your growth when you really tap into and stop avoiding what is knocking on your door. And so that is what I'm doing, and it feels really good. And so if you're somebody who's like me, that you just will constantly be like, I'm just a control freak. Are you, or are you scared to do the work and figure out why you have a strong desire to control? And I no longer want to control people or outcomes or situations. I just find freedom in knowing that however it's meant to be, whatever's supposed to happen in my life, that I'm never alone, that God is always with me, and then he's walking with me and he's showing me the way. And even in the times that are super uncomfortable, I can find comfort in knowing I'm not alone. And I hope you can find comfort in knowing that you're not alone, and that if you're like me and you think that you can control everything, you can't. And there is power and freedom in letting go. So let go. Love you guys.